For a few years in the 1970s, the Mr. Asia Syndicate made millions.
Heroin creates its own market. It acts like a form of plague.
Until jealousy, betrayal, and murder brought it all crashing down.
Then he just pulled out a gun, shot her in the back of the head, and then said to Wayne, "You're going to help me bury her."
This is Mr. Asia, A Forgotten History. All episodes now available on iHeartRadio, Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to the Weekend Sport Podcast with Jason Pine from News Talk ZB.
On News Talk ZB, Super Rugby Round 8 continues tonight. Blues Hurricanes, Eden Park, 7 o'clock kick-off on Gold Sport and iHeartRadio.
They march forward, the Blues, as Christie beckons in more players from the back line, marching towards the try line. Over they go. Kurt Eklund, the try for the Blues, and they are back in it.
I don't even know when that game was. When was that game? I don't even remember that try. Calling that try from Kurt Eklund. When was that game?
The start of last season.
Was
it? Kurt Eklund try versus the Hurricanes, obviously, because you were commentating that.
I'm glad you picked...
Or he was playing for the Phoenix for some reason.
I'm glad you picked out that try. Kurt Eklund himself will be delighted, I'm sure. He joins us now. Kurt, thanks for your time. Just a second appearance of the season for you. So what was the injury that kept you out for the first month or so of the season?
It's been a bit of a frustrating one. I've torn where my my adductor meets where I was supposed to have abs. Torn that. Anyways, it's been a bit of a frustrating one. I've got a bit of scar tissue there that keeps getting re-aggravated, and I was on a good course coming back for that Chiefs game, but probably a little bit too much too soon, sort of thing. So having missed the following game and having bye week, I think has given a good time to settle down and be ready for tonight.
All right, so you feel like I guess you can never be entirely certain, can you? But you feel like you'll be able to get a run of games in now that this is kind of behind you? Yeah,
I'm hoping that. I think just around my management of load and things like that throughout the week, and then the way we're playing the games. If I'm smart around that, then hopefully it should be a good run into the rest of the season.
I guess nobody likes to be injured, but how doubly frustrating was it watching on as the Blues, endured a pretty tough start to the season and you weren't really able to do too much about it?
Yeah, it was tough, mate. You're in the environment and you feel the hurt, and not being able to get out there to help or try and, do your thing to help the team. It's frustrating, but you can only support the boys where you can, and that's what I was trying to do, mate. Just try and keep the level of energy and enthusiasm up, and I think we've still got a really good team, and we only missed out on a couple of games by 1 or 2 points. So we've been thereabouts, but once we make it all click, and hopefully that's tonight, then things start going our way.
Oh, no doubt. You're a good team. There's absolutely no question about that, with a couple of others coming back in as well, yourself, but also a couple of your big players, Patrick Tuipulotu, Beauden Barrett, both back in the mix. How influential are those guys around your environment?
Yeah, they're great leaders, and the experience and probably the composure that they bring to the team is probably what we need at this time of the season. So, we'll be looking forward to having them back out on the field and seeing what they can do. Unfortunately,
though, you've lost your front row mate, Ofa Tu'ungafasi, for the rest of the season. I'm sure you're all getting around him to add support, but how big a loss is he?
Yeah, he's one of those players, like you just mentioned before, the experience and maturity that he brings to the team is huge. He's going to be greatly missed. He's been great for their young front rows and has been for the last few years. He really helped getting around them, learning their roles and things like that. But we've got some young boys as well who can step up and take their opportunity now. But we'll still get around Offer, and he'll be in and around the camp and stuff like that. So I'm sure he'll still be involved as much as he can as well.
All right, let's talk on-field stuff, Kurt. What have you mainly focused on in the past week or so, building up towards tonight, in your quest to turn things around and to start to gain some consistency?
Yeah, well, that's a big thing, consistency. We talk about being good in patches, but being able to play the game for the whole 80. Basics, man, and that's like any rugby game. You nail your basics. You hold on to the ball. You plan right into the field, and then things start going your way. So I think this week we've got a game plan that seems pretty drummed into us, and everyone seems pretty clear on the role that they need to be taking. So, it's been a good week of training too. The intensity has been good. I think the week off, has let everyone just refresh, get away from rugby a little bit and come back with a bit of enthusiasm.
The nature of your role, it's always interested me in the hooking role, in that it's very rare these days to play 80 minutes. And you play a mix, don't you? I think last year you played a mix of starting hooker and impact hooker, swapping sometimes from week to week. Are the roles quite different if you're wearing 2 rather than 16 or vice versa?
I think, for a mindset, they're a little bit different, because when you're starting, you're getting all the reps throughout the week, you're getting everything that you need. And when you're coming off the bench, you probably get a little bit less around training. So your mindset around your homework and your clarity has to be right on, because you aren't getting as many reps. And then when you're coming off the bench, you've got to be very clear, because you don't have time to work out what's going on. Well, you've got the time on the bench to work out what's going on, but you just got to slot in. Where when you're starting, you can feel the game out a little bit, see how things are flying. But once you're coming off the bench, you really got a job to, lift the energy, nail your set piece, and you got to slip in seamlessly. Does that make sense?
It does. It makes perfect sense. Yeah, no, it's great insight. Tonight, of course, you don't have to worry about coming off the bench, starting. Do you look across the across the other team, and do you have a personal battle with the opposition hooker tonight? Asafo Amua, pretty powerful ball runner. Do you have a personal battle with the opposition hooker?
Mate, he's a good footy player, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's a big boy too. Personal, I don't know if it's personal, but you never want to go out in a game and get one taken over you. What am I trying to say? You never want somebody to get one over you.
Yep.
Especially if he's your opposition. So personal, I'm not too sure. Suffer's a good dude, mate. I don't mind him at all. But when it comes to footy, like I said, you never want your opposition to get one over you. So you get out there and do everything you can to make sure that doesn't happen. And yeah.
And there's still plenty of time left this season. Do you feel as though it'll just take one performance perhaps, or maybe that consistency of a couple of wins in a row to springboard yourselves back to where you really want to be as you look to defend your title?
Yeah, I think seriously, mate, if we can get this one on tonight, then, the positivity and the energy will really lift, and just a bit of confidence. I think, not that we're lacking confidence, but winning is contagious, and if you can get 1 or 2 under your belt, then things just have a flow and effect from that. So, mate, if we can get this one over the line tonight, it'll be huge.
Outstanding. Hey, Kurt, great to get the chance to chat to you, mate. All the best. Great to have you back from injury as well, and all the best against the Canes.
Thank you, bro.
No, thank you, Kurt. Kurt Eklund there. Back into the 2-jumper tonight for the Blues against the Hurricanes. A very, very interesting proposition, this one. No way really of knowing, I don't think, who's going to win it. I see the Blues are favourites at the TAB. That would have to be by home advantage only. And the fact maybe they've got a couple of their more important players back, the likes of Patrick Tuipulotu and Beauden Barrett. But yeah, Canes are a chance, especially after the way they dealt to the Waratahs last weekend.
For more from Weekend Sport with Jason Pine, listen live to News Talk ZB weekends from midday, or follow the podcast on iHeartRadio.